Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Chatting with You. I'm Michael Urbina and I'm joined today by my wife,
Giselle Urbina.
So this is actually the first podcast that we've done alone since we started doing the podcast. So it should be fun because I guess we don't talk enough at home or anything else like
That's
that.
right. We need more time to
We
talk.
definitely need more time. But I think it's interesting, obviously we live together, we work together all the time, and being able to manage those aspects of, work and the house deals a lot with time management, which is the topic of today, which you proposed it. So what inspired you basically to discover this topic or discuss this topic better yet?
So I feel like many people ask, me all the time, like how you do it, how you take care of the girls at home and make sure everything is good at home, and also take care of, the business and how you keep everything going. And I feel like it has to do with time management. If you know how to manage your time and you are efficient and smart with it, I feel like you can accomplish and do many more things.
Yeah, I agree. And I think time management in this discussion, it always reminds me of when I used to be a part of Experiencia Cristo, and I learned this thing that I'll never forget, that a good friend of mine and in my family, Raul Lozano, taught me, is basically this: assuming you take like a cup and you add a bunch of sand in the cup, and the sand is basically like, watching TV and working out and all these things, and then you try to put these rocks on it, and those rocks are, your family, your job, like your priorities. You'll notice that it won't fit. But if you put your priorities first, like, your family, your job, your health, all these things, and then you put everything else, it actually fit perfectly, So I think a big topic in terms of time management is priorities and setting up those priorities. However, as a society, we struggle so much to put our priorities straight. Like, you often hear people say, no, I got to put my priorities in place, or I got to, put my priorities first. But why is it so hard for people to put their priorities first when you think about it? Like, if that's your priority, should that not be the first thing you do? Is that, are we procrastinating, or is it just human nature that for whatever reason we forget what's important?
There's not a really straight answer to that question. I think it depends on everyone. Everybody's different. And I feel like in my case, I sometimes, I feel like I'm not a priority. So I put my girls' necessities, your necessities, the business necessities always first. But it's going to come to a point where if you don't take care of yourself, because you are a priority as well, everything else will crumble. So I feel like it's a matter of each individual looking into their lives and seeing, okay, I'm definitely a priority. I need to take care of myself, of my health, of everything. And then I feel like every other priority will fall into place. That's in my case, but everybody's different. So,
yeah. So to answer the question that you started with, how do you do it? How do you manage your time?
So I feel like time, I don't feel like it for real. Time is one of the only things in life that you cannot create. Everybody has the same 24 hours a day. Everybody has the same 1,140 minutes per day. And you need to choose how you use them, wisely, right? So, you have to sleep. So you kind of do your math, subtract that. And then with the rest of the time, how you use it. So the first thing I think about is, what do I enjoy doing? What is really worth my time? We have an expiration day, right? Like, at some point we're not going to be on this earth, where each day is like a gift. So I'm like, how am I going to use this day the best way possible? Because we don't know if tomorrow is going to be there, and what already happened yesterday I can't change. So I only have these 24 hours. Let me see how I can use them. So the first thing is, think about what I like using my time on. In my case, for example, I like spending time with you. I like spending time with the girls. So, however, I still need to work. I still need to do other things that maybe I don't enjoy as much. I do enjoy working, but there's other stuff that you have to do. And then I start thinking, okay, if I want to spend time with them, what can I cut from these other things that, maybe I don't necessarily have to do? And if I have to do them, can I delegate it? Can I find someone else or something else, like an app or something that can help me get them done without me necessarily being the one there. So that's how I think about each and every day in order to manage my time better. What about you?
A variety of things. One, I think that managing the hours, you have 24 hours, and I always hear, you watch all these Gary Vee videos and all these like people that do like inspirational stuff, and they talk about you have 24 hours in a day. Like you said, you have to account for some type of sleep, right? Mm-hmm. And then the rest is just time that you have to carve out your own canvas. So to me, like usually I'm like, all right, so I try to, obviously at night, to try to spend time with the family and after I get home from work and whatnot. But then in the morning, while everybody's still sleeping, I'm usually out running, or well, recently, a few months ago when I started running, not before that, But I think you just have to make sure you manage wherever you can fit in what you want to do. So it just depends on what you want to do and how bad or you need to do it or how bad you want to do it. So it used to be that, I wanted to work out, but I just don't have the time. Then I was like, don't you? Like, you can just wake up earlier. You may not sleep as much, but all you need is to at least make sure you get 6 hours or something like that, or sometimes 5 or 4, whatever. And then you actually can fit in that run. Does it suck? Absolutely. Nobody likes to wake up early just for the sake of it.
Well, you kind of do.
Huh?
You kind of do.
Maybe. I am a pretty morning person.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily enjoy it. If you gave me the choice between sleeping in and waking up at 5 to like go running, I mean, yeah, I'm going to pick sleeping in. But you have to, again, set up your priorities, knowing that if I don't do it then, I likely won't be able to do it for the rest of the day. So you have to set up that time. Same thing with everybody else. I mean, everything else. Like sometimes you're like, you know what? It's going to suck because you have to work overnight or whatever it is. Then you have to do it, Like sometimes you'll have to be able to sacrifice something else to be able to set up your priorities in line, Or I'm not going to say that I'm like a techie or anything like that, but I do believe there's, like you said, a lot of apps and technology that can make your life so much easier. If you know something that you can order from Amazon that it will be delivered to your doorstep, why do you need to spend time going to a store to get that, Like, or now that Whole Foods has like Amazon delivery for stuff, or the app where you can get like groceries delivered and things like that. Like people are like, oh, well, that costs money. Well, you know what? Your time costs money too. So if you can try to find a way to make sure that you don't have to, waste not even a minute of your day doing something else, then why not do that? I loved, and this is why I'm a total Apple snob. I get it. And like my brother Carlos makes fun of me for being an Apple snob, but I love the fact that Apple has like all these like keychains where you can literally just put in all your passwords. You can save your card info and things like that. So like a lot of times, instead of having to fill out all this information for different accounts, they're already there. You just don't have to do them. Like you just save so much time. Like click, done. Like sounds like it's a little thing, but if you have to do that all the time, all day, every day, like, and you have to literally Michael Urbina, 1165 North Church Park, like spend all day writing your name and your address. Like,
yeah, no,
you know what I mean? So saving time using technology nowadays is priceless. And anything you can do to like expedite it, for example, like going back to the Apple snob, like the fact that you can write notes or you can write things in different products and just save it onto all your devices at the same time, like this is awesome. Like, why would you not use some service like that? And
that's a good point. People think, and correct me if I'm wrong, usually when I talk to people, it feels like people want to make money, and money is the most important thing in the world. And if you have money, that's the best thing. To me, time is the most important thing. Money, you can make more money. If you really want to make more money, in our case, I guess we can get more clients, we can get out there. Other businesses can probably, sell more products or change the way they're doing something in order to get more clients. So, or you can get a better job, you can move to another state for that better opportunity. So money comes and goes. Time, though, once it's gone, cannot get it back. So to me, the most precious thing I have is money. I prefer to pay someone to do my grocery shopping because I don't really like it. I prefer to do that and spend more time with my girls. I feel like I'm going to create a memory with my girls. I'd rather pay someone to do that. And maybe that dress that I wanted to buy, I'd rather not buy it and use that money to pay someone to do something that I feel like I'm going to not waste my time, but not really use my time
it's
the
not
way I
aligned with
want
your
to.
priorities, basically.
Exactly, which is in this case my girls. So I feel like if we have, like you said, our priorities straight, including you, of course. If we know what are our priorities, in our case, at least I know it's for both of us, but it's spending time with our family, creating memories, making sure that they're going to grow up and they're going to do their own thing. So the only thing we have really to create really cool memories for them in the future is now. So if we just always think about, oh, we got to work, oh, we got to do this, oh, we got to do that, and we don't think about what we really want, we're never going to get it done. Like if we want to lose weight, it's the same thing. Oh, maybe I hate it when people say, I'm going to start a diet on Monday. I hate that. Like, why? Just start it right now. Like
I say that.
And I used to say that. I would be like, I'm going to do it after my birthday. I'm going to do it after Thanksgiving. I'm going to do it after Christmas. I'm going to do it after, I don't know, like February because it's Valentine's and I need to eat all the chocolate in the world. Like it's never going to be a perfect time. So that's why, and you don't even know if you're going to get there, right? We're thinking we will, but you don't really know. If you really, really want to change and you really, really want that, better health and you want to do that diet, you got to start it now. Now is the time. I feel like if you don't do it now, it means it's not a priority in your life.
I mean, I get it. That makes sense. I think, honestly, with regards to dieting and exercise and, businesses in general and whatnot, I think it has a lot to do with how bad do you want it? Like, I honestly believe that that's the key difference in a lot of things, And for example, sometimes when I was little, I thought that nobody wanted to be an NBA basketball player more than me. But then now when you read stories about what some of these NBA players had to do when they were little to get to where they are, you're like, oh, no, dude, they wanted it way more than I did. Because, they would not stop all day, every day, like 24/7. Like, they would not do anything else. And I'm like, yeah, that was not me. I would do other things too, So I think that's the same thing for everything else. Like, if you really, really want to lose weight, you're going to find a way to make that happen. I understand that some people may be harder because of different diseases or conditions that they may have. But I've seen many other stories where people find a way regardless of the circumstances. If you want to be successful in life, you want to study something, if you want to, your business to grow or something like that, if you want it bad enough, you'll work hard enough for it. You'll find the time. You'll find the, a way to manage your time management skills to make sure that you get to that point. So I think a big part of, why sometimes maybe people are not good at managing their time is because maybe they don't want what they think they want as bad as they think they want. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Their perception of, oh, I want this bad.
I'm a perfect example of that because I'm like, I really want to lose weight, but I'm not there yet. I'm like, okay, I'm going to exercise and I have 2 days in a row. Hopefully I'll keep going. But in the past, I've been like, I really want it. And then I just drop it. And it's because still it's not a priority. I've never dropped you or the girls or the business because to me, I really want it. And I really want that really bad. So that's why I haven't dropped that. But I feel like if you see in the way that you kind of like, okay, I'll pick it up later, then it's still not a priority in your life.
Yeah, I think it comes down to, one of our last topics, I guess, in this is procrastination. Like, we all suffer from that. We all procrastinate on some level. But I think that if it's something that you want bad enough or you can almost taste it, you're not going to want to procrastinate that one thing, As much as it sucks, you're going to be like, it has to be done. Like, it has to be done. So I'm not going to say that you are never going to procrastinate.
Right.
It's human nature to be procrastinators.
Of course.
But if it becomes something that it's like a ongoing, never-ending cycle of procrastination, you're like, okay, that's really never going to get done, is it? Like, let's just get over it and you just move on or find another avenue to get to that goal or get to that priority to the top of your pyramid, if you want to call it that way.
And the other avenue would be to delegate. I feel like if there's something worth doing and you enjoy doing it, by all means, do it yourself. If there's something that you have to do, but you don't like doing it, find somebody else to do it for you. And you might feel like, oh, but that's money, that's this, that, do the math.
Mm-hmm.
Is it really going to cost you more to have somebody else do it for you, or you trying to do it when you really don't want to? It's going to take you probably longer.
Mm-hmm.
Your time could have been used doing something better, more effective, or something that you're really good at. And it's probably, like, if you do the math, it's probably not going to be that much money. So, for example, like mowing the lawn. I know you like doing it because you're like, oh, I like the feeling when you finish and everything looks really nice.
It's nothing better than that.
But do you have the time to do it? Do you love it enough to do it every other week?
I don't love it that much.
Exactly. So then you find someone, and do you think it's that expensive, like, to delegate that, and you have that extra hour or two to invest your time either with your family or in the business or doing something else? Playing basketball?
At our old place, it was probably like 4 or 5 hours. But
right. But now it's a little less.
That was like a little jungle. But yeah, I mean, it makes perfect sense, honestly, because, and it just feels good sometimes, like, when we didn't delegate that aspect of it, get home and you see like the Amazon jungle growing in your front yard, you're like, oh, I gotta do that, but I can't do it now. It's late, this and that. But now sometimes you get home and it's already done. You're like, oh,
that's the best feeling in the world.
I don't know about the best feeling in the world, but
I'm like, yes, it looks so nice.
But I agree with you. I think that sometimes it's either our pride, you don't want somebody else to do it, or because you want to be the one that does it, or because you think it actually, like you said, be more expensive. But I think a lot of times, I don't know what the equivalent is of lo barato sale caro, like in English, but it's like the saying is basically like, the cheap things usually end up being more expensive. Mm-hmm. And it's true, because a lot of times you try to take shortcuts or, do everything yourself, and maybe you're not as into it or as motivated or as passionate about it, and you don't do it right, or you don't have the proper experience, and then it's going to cost you more because you have to do it again, more time, more money, or then hire somebody to fix your mess up. Like, it's just hard. So sometimes you have to bite the bullet and find a way to make sure you delegate that. It may sound like it's expensive, but long term, if you, like you said, if you do the math, not every situation, but a lot of situations make sense that you can delegate those things, and the amount of time that you buy is incredible.
Yeah. And to me, there's many books and stories about delegation. To me, the most important thing about delegation is making sure the person you're delegating to knows what they're doing, because it makes you feel better, because you don't want to delegate something to someone who has no clue on doing that, and then it might be worse, right? Like, we might delegate the grass to somebody that hasn't done it ever, and then you go home and it looks horrible, and then it's double the time because now you gotta fix the mess they did. It works like that for everything in life. When you're delegating something, you have to make sure that that person is trained to do it, they know how to do it, and that way you're gonna feel better, because the product of what you're gonna receive is gonna be high quality.
Yeah, I agree. So I think, to summarize, it's just more making sure what it is that you value, prioritize those items, make sure that, ask yourself, is this really what I want? How bad do I really want it? How far am I willing to go for this? Actually going for it, making sure that you establish your checklist, your procedures, like managing your hours in the day to make sure that you fit that in no matter what it takes. You don't necessarily need to sleep 8 hours or 12 hours every day. You can sleep less. And then that's another thing, alternating and balancing. Like, okay, so this day I only slept 2 hours because I was working hard. So then the next day I'm going to sleep a little more, but then I'm going to do this to like fit this over here. It's like playing with a puzzle. And last but not least, just watch out for procrastination.
I agree. And I feel like if you do all those things, I think you're going to manage. Or even if you pick one, I think it's going to improve your time management. And I feel like you're going to see a big difference. You're going to really love it.
Yeah. So hopefully you guys like this subject. I think this is one of Giselle's favorite topics.
Yes.
In regards to how to manage your time properly. So thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll see you next time. Feel free. Oh, can't forget. Please find us. You can find us on Apple, Spotify, all the other podcast platforms. He's chatting you. Okay. And we'll continue to throw out different topics to discuss with you guys, and hopefully you enjoy them, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one.
Thank you. Have a good one.